Good afternoon, everybody. It is February 18th, 2023, and we are in the Old Testament. We're in the book of Genesis. We're going to read chapter 44 today. All right, so we're continuing more with Joseph's story. His brothers have returned. This time they brought their brother Benjamin, which Joseph said that was a condition. If you don't come back with him, I'm not going to give you any food. They've come back with him despite their misgivings about doing it. And Joseph is going to test him one more time. They still don't recognize Joseph, and Joseph is still not quite sure where they are. So he's going to send them off again. This time he arranges for one of his cups, special cups, I guess, that is part of his office, to be in Benjamin's sack. And he sends his servants to go find it, and everyone says, hey, you know what, if you find your stuff in our sack, that person's guilty, and you can go punish him, not knowing that it was Benjamin that had it. They find the cup in Benjamin's bag. They all go back before Joseph, and Judah now comes forward and says, hey, you know what, I take responsibility. You let him go, you keep me, and I will take all of the punishment that's due for Benjamin for stealing this cup, if he indeed stole it. And you kind of contrast that to when Joseph was sold into slavery. That was basically Judah's idea. Hey, you know what? This is an easy way to get rid of him. We can get what we want. We don't have to worry about him and his dreams, and we can get rid of it. So Judah has now come around to, hey, you know what? The sin is on me. We've had a bunch of stuff that happened in Judah's life. He's getting back into a better relationship with God and with his father and with his brothers, and taking responsibility, which is good because that's going to set up the next step for him. And that's kind of where this story ends up, where they're back before Joseph, and Joseph is getting ready to break. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Genesis chapter 44. And he commanded the stewards of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in the mouth of his sack. Also put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and his grain money. So he did it according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning dawned, the men were sent away, and they and their donkeys. When they had gone out of the city and were not yet far off, Joseph said to his steward, get up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, why have you repaid evil for good? Is not this the one from which my Lord drinks, and with which he indeed practices divination? You have done evil in so doing. So he overtook them, and he spoke to them these same words. And they said to him, why does my Lord say these words? Far be it from us that your servant should do such a thing. Look, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the money which we found in the mouth of our sacks. How then could we steal silver or gold from your Lord's house? With whomever of your servants it is found, let him die, and we also will be my Lord's slaves. And he said, now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found shall be my slave, and you shall be blameless. Then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. So he searched. He began with the oldest and left off with the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they tore their clothes, and each man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. So Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there. And they fell before him on the ground, and Joseph said to him, what deed is this you have done? Did you not know that such a man as I can certainly practice divination? Then Judah said, what shall we say to my Lord? What shall we speak, or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of your servants. Here we are, my Lord's slaves, both we and he also with whom the cup was found. But he said, far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the cup was found, he shall be my slave. As for you, go up in peace to your father. Then Judah came up near to him and said, O my Lord, please let your servant speak a word in my Lord's hearing, and do not let your anger burn against your servant, for you are even like Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servant, saying, have you a father or a brother? And we said to my Lord, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, who is young. His brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him. Then you said to your servants, bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him. We said to my Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. But you said to your servants, unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall see my face no more. So it was when he went up to your servant my father that we told him the words of my Lord. And our father said, go back and buy us a little food. But we said, we cannot go down. If our youngest brother is with us, then we will go down, for we may not see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us. Then your servant my father said to us, you know that my wife bore me 2 sons, And the one went out from me, and I said, surely he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. But if you take this one also from me, and calamity befalls him, you shall bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I come to your servant my father, and the lad is not with us, since his life is bound up in the lad's life, it will happen when he sees that the lad is not with us, that he will die. So your servants will bring down the gray hair of your servant our father with sorrow to the grave. For your servant became surety for the lad to my father, saying, if I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father forever. Now therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the lad as a slave to my lord. And let the lad go up with his brothers. For how shall I go to my father if the lad is not with me? Lest perhaps I see the evil that would come upon my father. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.